Welcome, Rebels. My name is Ashley, and for our practice today, we'll be going through another yinny, or what I call a mini yin. It's an opportunity to just really connect deeply with our breath, to open up in our body for doing longer holds and stretches. For today's practice, I recommend a mat or a towel to practice on, a blanket, some blocks, maybe a pillow. All of these are just suggestions for you. You've already done the most important part, which is you are here, you're making time for yourself. Also, with any of these poses, you can hold them for longer periods of time. You can pause the video. So really focusing on what's going to work best for you in your body today. So welcome. Let's get settled into our first pose. Bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Placing the knees on blocks or books. That really helps us open up through the hip area. Just to give us a little extra support, you may want to have a blanket underneath the hips and then a pillow for the head. You may also decide that you want to hug that pillow in to feel that weight, to feel that support, very similar to what a weighted blanket does. And then gently begin to lower all the way down, tilting the chin up slightly to the sky to invite in a long fluid connection of breath from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head, beginning to just really drop into the body, out of the mind, out of the heart space. Placing one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly to connect with your breath, connect with yourself. Closing the eyes down if that feels good to you. All together, let's take a big cleansing breath together, breathing in. Filling up those lungs and then opening the mouth, sighing it out all together. Sighing these breaths out really helps us cleanse internally, pushing out anything that no longer serves us. Let's do 2 more of those cleansing breaths together, breathing in. And then opening the mouth, sighing it out. One more, breathe in. Open the mouth, push it out. Sealing the lips, reconnecting with the breath, breathing in through the nose. And out through the nose. Feeling that rise and fall, that pattern. So we breathe in and breathe out together. Beginning to feel and become aware of the support that the mat provides. Taking the shoulders a little bit further away from the ears. Opening up through the throat space just a little bit more. This is going to help us give strength to our voice. Both that internal voice that we really need to listen to, our intuition, and that external voice. How can we advocate for ourselves? How can we be strong and empowered in what we do on a day-to-day basis? Breathing in. and out. Working our way down the body, feeling the shoulder blades and the low back melting into the mat, feeling the support of the sits bones, feeling the knees embraced by the mat or the blocks, and then feeling that connection of the feet coming together. Anytime that we can make contact with our body or with the surface around us, that helps us to ground. That helps to remind us that we are in our body. We are not in our head. And we'll stay here for 5 more rounds of breath. Breathing in and out. Two more, stick with it. Everyone's doing a wonderful job. And keeping the eyes closed. If you're in that peaceful place, just listening to the sound of my voice as I guide you into the next posture. Gently placing the hands on the outside of the thighs, slowly bringing those knees together. Lifting the hips up as you grab a block on the second highest setting. I'm going to place my block here and then my blanket on top of it for that extra support. And today I'm going to place my block right at the base of my low back where my seat begins. We're feeling that support. If the pillow underneath your head is a little bit too much and your neck isn't happy, then you can just remove that pillow, hopefully more gracefully than I did. Really shooting for the goal of having, or aiming for the goal of having this whole heart space, your voice space, your mind space open as we invite in our meditation or our mantra, our affirmation of the day, which is change. How can we welcome change into our practice? How can we welcome change into our lives? So settling in here, feeling the feet rooted to the mat and grounded. Placing the hands back on the heart and the belly. That's the first option. Maybe you decide to bring the palms face up to invite in some energy, some change. Or if the second heart opening posture is feeling a little bit overwhelming, always option to place the hands down to ground ourselves and feel rooted. Again, coming back to the idea of making contact, reminding ourselves that no matter how far we get into our emotions or our thoughts, our feelings, we are in our bodies. It's so easy to become disconnected from this beautiful entity that takes us from place to place, day to day. But the more we spend time on the mat, the more we slow things down, the more we realize the importance, the connection of being in the body and being aware of what's happening. Settling into this bridge pose. Let's take a breath in together. And then exhale, open the mouth side out. Checking in with the face space. Can we separate the distance between the teeth? Can we take the roof away from the tongue, away from the roof of the mouth? Can we release this area that often clinches together between the eyebrows? Can we bring a gentle smile to our lips because we're here, we're doing yoga, we're honoring our bodies. Settling in for 5 breaths. Two more. Everyone's doing a wonderful job. Hugging the knees into the chest, keeping the eyes closed. You can stay on the block if you'd like to continue having that elevated sense. Reaching for the knees, begin to gently rotate them back clockwise and then counterclockwise. This is really forcing our upper back into the mat, reminding ourselves that we are here, we are present. And rotating the knees on the block also helps give us a little bit of a gentle low back massage. If that is too intense, you are always welcome to remove the block and hug those knees in, doing a few more gentle knee circles. And if you have a little bit of extra time today, maybe you do both of those things. Knee circles on the block and then knee circles off the block. Just noticing the difference of how that feels in your body. Hugging those knees in, tucking the chin into the chest, rounding the spine. Maybe you make contact with the forehead to the knees. Don't push it. Don't force it. Just do what feels good in your body today. And then exhale, slowly release everything. Come into a sleeping star. Just resetting, letting go, breathing in. Open the mouth side out. 2 more. Being extra gentle with yourself, slowly begin to roll onto the right side. Using this as a transition pose as we roll onto our bellies. Doing a nice counter pose here as we send our fingertips out wide. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, inhaling, lifting up through the heart space, coming into a Sphinx pose, breathing in, And out, feeling a gentle elongation of the front body. Shoulders away from the ears. Reconnect with the breath. Reconnect with our affirmation of change. Embracing adventure. Embracing the idea of choice. Choosing new things, new opportunities, new people even. And slowly lower all the way down, sending the hands close to the rib cage. Begin to peel ourselves up. Taking the legs around. Coming back to a seat. And using the pillow as a support if you happen to be up against a wall, or maybe you're doing this on the floor of your living room up against a couch using that support. Just sitting up, hugging those knees in, tucking the chin into the chest, rounding again. Doing a variation of a child's pose. Just returning back to ourselves, to our breath, after we did a lot of big heart openers the first part of our practice. And then slowly coming up one vertebrae at a time, extending the knees out, sitting up nice and tall, and then sliding the left foot out a little bit. Right knee lands on the mat. Left leg tucks in. Coming into a deer pose. Breathing in, sitting up nice and tall. Option to stay here. Shoulders away from the ears, everything open. Or option to place the left hand gently on the right knee. Right hand behind us. Taking a gentle twist over to the right, looking over that right shoulder, feeling connected and rooted to the earth. Option to close the eyes to tune inward again. Imagining the fluidity of the breath as we breathe in through the base of the hips all the way up to the crown of the head, and exhale all the way back down. 5 more rounds of breath here. Everyone's doing a wonderful job. Slowly inhale the eyes back to center. Release the hands. Placing the fingertips behind you. Extending both legs out. Scooting the hips forward just a little bit. Bending the elbows slightly. Let the head fall back, coming into a mongoose position. Leaning back just a little bit as a nice counter pose to deer. Welcoming in that change, that adventure. Inhale, slowly rise up, always protecting that precious head and neck first. Walk the hands back up to the hips. Gently begin to take the right leg over to the right. Sole of the left foot comes to the top of that right quad. Placing the right hand gently on the left knee. Left, so option to stay here, just upright, rolling the shoulders up and back. Or taking it a little bit deeper, coming into a gentle twist, placing the left hand behind us, looking over that left shoulder. Feeling connected to the body, connected to the breath. Sitting up a little bit taller. 5 more rounds of breath here. Being extra gentle with yourself, slowly bring the head back to center. Releasing the twist. Extending the legs out long. Maybe placing a pillow on top of the legs, breathing in. And then exhale, breathing out forward, both coming into a caterpillar posture. You may choose to press the hands gently in front of you, or if that's just feeling like it's too much on the shoulders, send the hands underneath the knees. By your sides, whatever feels good. Tuning into what's happening in the neck here as you tuck the chin into the chest a little bit. Maybe adjust the pillow so that we're not feeling too much pressure on the neck. Reconnecting with the self, reconnecting with the breath. Feeling the solidity and fluidity of the breath. Returning to our affirmation. How can we invite change in? How can we accept that change is really the only constant? Three more rounds of breath. Slowly rising up, being extra gentle with yourselves as always. Rolling the shoulders up and back. And we're doing some gentle neck rolls or shoulder rolls. few rounds of breath to invite some movement into the body. That might look like some windshield wipers. Just anything that feels good to you. Few final movements before we move into everybody's favorite, a Savasana. And before we move into that, gently begin to bring the soles of the feet back together, placing blocks or books underneath the knees. You can also always use some rolled up towels or blankets or maybe some dirty laundry that you have laying around, whatever works for you. And then gently lower all the way back down to that reclined goddess pose. So check back in with yourselves, noticing here how you feel now that we've gone through our very gentle practice. What changes or shifts do you notice in the body? Is anything continuing to be warm or cool? Is there still a particular area that feels stiff or tight? And can we send breath to that area? Can we focus in on whatever else we need to release? Breathing in and opening the mouth, sighing it out, let it out, release. 2 more all together. Breathe in. Push it out, sigh it out. 1 more. Really letting go of whatever's holding us back from that change that we want to make. No matter how small or large it is, anyone can make a change for the better, to better themselves, to better somebody else. Breathe it in. Exhale, push it out. Make some noise. Seal the lips, staying here for a few more rounds of breath. An option of staying here or slowly bringing the knees together, extending the arms out long, coming into our final resting posture of Savasana, taking up space for yourselves, palms face up to receive that change. Breathing in stillness and peace. Tuning out any distractions, whether they be internal or external. You're welcome to stay in our final resting posture of Savasana as long as you would like. But if you need to go about your day or afternoon or evening, begin to bring some gentle awareness into the body, rotating the wrists and ankles, wiggling the fingers and toes, rocking the chin back and forth from side to side. Breathing in, sending those arms up overhead, big stretch. And then exhale, hugging it all in, reminding yourselves that you are your best support system, that you always have your back, that you can empower yourselves and make a change anytime. As you slowly roll over onto the right side, breathing in that peace, and breathing out any chaos, anything you need to let go. Slowly rising up to a seated position, always being extra gentle with yourselves. Getting settled back into that mat, re-grounding, finding your space, finding your place. Bringing the hands to heart center to seal the practice. The light in me honors, respects, and appreciates the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, Rebels, for joining me today. Wonderful job. My name is Ashley, and if you would ever like to join me for a class in person, I teach on Wednesday mornings from 6:15 to 7 a.m. if you're an early riser. And I also teach on Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30. Remember to take care of yourselves. See you next time.